Well, Danny, it's important to bounce back with a performance we know we're capable of on Tuesday against Kings Lynn.
Yeah, look, I think we were unrecognisable on Saturday. We even staying on the sideline, it just baffled me at times, some of the things we did or didn't do. But we can't. There's no point us harping on about it, because from a points perspective, we're on target to hit the points we wanted to hit this month still. So unless that changes, because if we'd have lost at Notts County but beaten Barnet, no one would have really said anything. But we did get the 3 points against Notts County, which gives you the free hit at times, and it's just disappointing we didn't take that extra bonus point, but we didn't. So we move on, and we look forward to Kings Lynn coming out. I envisage it being a very good game.
Exactly that. Not going back on Saturday for too long, but it's important that we take what we needed to from that game, reflect on it, and then take it forward going into Tuesday's game.
Yeah, there's a lot of don't ever do that again from Saturday, and listen, if the boys learn from that and they push on from that, then we'll, as I said, we'll take that one on the chin. But no, look, they're a good side, Kings Lynn. They play some really good football, and they've had some good results themselves recently. So yeah, no, I think it'll be a really entertaining game.
And something that's got a lot of criticism and a lot of engagement on social media recently is the plans for a European Super League, and with that, that affects us a little bit, because we encourage people who maybe don't want to get involved with those teams so much anymore, but to support their local clubs like us that really need the beneficial factors from that.
And us more than a lot of teams, especially at this level, because we've got a board of directors that have put a structure in place where we haven't got a rich benefactor who just throws cash at stuff. We have to raise our own funds, and part of that is massively dependent on our crowds, and our budget is dictated to by what our attendances are, and we could really do with some extra funds. So yeah, if you support any of those teams and you don't fancy travelling around Europe, then you'll all be welcome at the end.
And just a quick note mention about Kings Lynn. Obviously, they're a team that are new to us in this division, and like I said, maybe they're in a position that the league doesn't quite reflect the performances they put in games at times.
No, as I said, they play some great stuff. They've got a total football mentality, and it's a pleasure to watch, because I think there's more teams who've played more football this season, which is nice. But I think that's a massive compliment to the league, because the standard of players that are now playing at this level, you look at the size of the clubs that are playing at this level, potentially the size of the clubs that are coming out of the league to play at this level, you could argue it's a stronger competitive league, more competitive league than League Two, with the level of teams that are in it. But look, it is what it is, and as I said, I think Kings Lynn haven't done themselves any harm this year with what they've tried to do, and that's a credit to the manager and the club. They've set a stall out and they've stuck to it, so fair play.
And of course, they've lost a few key players from them over the last few weeks, but like many clubs at this level, they've sort of got over it, learned how to adapt, and moved on from that.
Yeah, we've all had to deal with losing players in one way or another, whether it's because people can't afford to keep them, or we've had it with loan players that we've had to send back because we just haven't got the funds to do it, or injuries, we've had that issue and whatnot. And I think every club in some way, probably from the bottom 10 down, have all had to deal with that in some way. We haven't got, and when I say we, I'm talking about the clubs that sort of in our sort of pool of clubs. We haven't got the resources to do what some of these bigger clubs are doing and just go and sign. I won't name obviously the names, but there's clubs that have signed 6 or 7 players in the last 2 weeks and bought them from clubs, and you're like, that's great. We can't do that, so we have to learn and adapt, and that's a challenge of the job. It's an enjoyable part of the job, because you've got to really do your homework on players and make sure you get it right. And I think touch wood. I think our recruitment's been really good this season. I don't think we've got many wrong at all, and we've been unfortunate with some injuries, but I think everyone's played a part in a way where the fact that the amount of players the supporters are talking about wanting to stay next season is proof that we as a staff have done a good job bringing them to the club.
And you'd argue we're in a much better position in the league as well. So we're not so much looking down to much anymore. We're looking up and seeing how far away from the playoffs and that we are.
Or even after Saturday's defeat, we're 8 points off the playoff. I think we're 16 points off the relegation zone, and the lads have to take all the credit for that. They've, in every single column this season, goals, wins, clean sheets, every column we're better than we were last year, and that was the objective this season, was to improve on last year. I know we had a chat about it on Saturday, with discussions about playoffs and all that sort of stuff. That was never the objective this season. If it happened, great. But the objective was to make progress, because we have to be in a place where we can sustain a challenge, and that if we did pick up injuries, we've got the resources to then go and add to the squad. And unfortunately, with the current situation, that's not the case, and that's fine. So we have to praise what we have done, which is make good progress. We're a solid mid-table side at the minute, and when you think that 18 months ago, theoretically, we should have been in the Conference South, then the players deserve all the credit for that. That's a fantastic work from them.
And just a final point on Kings Lynn, we're looking to bounce back after a 4-2 defeat on Saturday.
Yeah, but they're 2-0 up, and like you look at it and you think they're going to come here with confidence that they're going to come and score goals, and we've got the confidence that we can score goals as well. So it could be a really entertaining evening.
Are you in the shop? Sign up below.
Click here for the next video, click here to subscribe.